In this video, we're going to show you how to perform an oil change on your Volvo XC60. And on the bottom side of the engine here, we have the splash shield. There should be 8 T30 torque screws holding the splash shield to the bottom of the engine cradle. You want to get and loosen and remove these. Now, if you just go around the perimeter, you're going to find all of these here. Ours is missing a majority of these here and only currently have 4 holding it in place. Once you remove all of these here, you can go ahead and take that cover and set it aside. Now with the shield removed, you want to go ahead and locate your oil drain plug on the pan. It's on the back side of this aluminum pan here, just beside the starter. Now you want to go ahead and grab a 17mm socket and a ratchet. You could also use a 17mm wrench if you want. Now we do have our drain bucket here, but what we're going to do is just break this free first. Go ahead and roll that catch can here, and we want to go ahead and continue to remove this. I'm just going to wait until this completely drains out. I want to go ahead and give this a quick wipe, do an inspection of the oil pan itself. Everything looks good. We're going to take our drain bolt and we're going to take a new copper washer, fit that in, and let's go ahead and thread that in. And once you get this in, you want to go ahead and torque it down to 28 foot-pounds. It is an aluminum oil pan, so you want to be careful with that. Make sure you torque it properly. There it is. And then finish up by giving it a quick spray with some spray solvent. Clean up any of that residual oil. Let's move back up top. Now open the engine bay, you're going to come on over to the passenger side here. You're going to locate your power steering pump reservoir. Now our oil canister filter unit is down inside here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab the reservoir. We're going to pull it up and out of the unit that it's setting in. And that allows you to move this around a little bit. Now we're going to push this down out of the way a little bit. And we're going to access the cover, the canister cover down here, and we're going to use a 36mm socket with an extension and our 1/2-inch ratchet to loosen and remove that canister. Now right down here is the oil filter lid for the cartridge. We're going to use a 36mm socket and extension. I'm going to go down there and loosen that. Now there is a rubber O-ring seal on this cap, so it's going to feel a little snug and have some resistance to it when you're loosening it. Now hopefully you're tackling this job after the engine's been sitting for a little while and it's pretty cool. You normally don't want to do this right after you get home from driving it. Okay. Now this is the messy part. Chances are the cartridge itself that is underneath this cap is going to have a bunch of oil in it. So you can either just kind of tuck some towels down around the perimeter to try and catch some of that oil, which we're going to try and do. I'm just going to use a shop rag actually, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to grab that cap, spin it counterclockwise, and then I'm going to lift it straight up. Now our engine has been sitting for a little bit. A lot of the oil has already probably drained out, and it's okay if I make a mess right now. I want to make sure that I show you what you're going to be seeing. Here's the lid, and I might go ahead and pull that oil dipstick as well, get that out of the way. Now sometimes you can reach out and pop that filter cartridge out of that lid. Now at this point here, our cartridge, we're able to pop out of this lid. So we just want to try and get this up and out. Here it is right here. Go ahead and grab the oil filter cartridge. There it is right there. And as we pulled out that lid, here's this component right here. Now this component right here, these 4 tabs, when you install your cap, will actually line up in the top of this here. Take this here and it fits down over the center portion right there. So you can see that down inside fits right over the center. So we're going to go ahead and pull this up and out right now. There is some residual oil still sitting in there. Not much we can do about that, but we do want to go ahead and clean up our components. This is the point where we want to go ahead and inspect everything, make sure that none of this plastic is broken. Inspect the lid. Now the next thing you want to do after this is all cleaned up and you did your inspection, everything looks good, you need to go ahead and replace this O-ring seal. You can use a pick or a small pocket screwdriver here. And we're just going to get underneath here and just roll that off. I'm going to use a shop rag. I'm going to run around the perimeter. Take the new supplied O-ring. Just kind of hold it over a few of the splines there on the threads and just kind of run your finger around it. Just kind of run that on there. Roll it on and then roll it down to that groove. Sometimes it can be a bugger. A little bit of patience and you'll get it in there. There we go. Make sure that O-ring is in there. Now I'm going to take our center piece here, a little cage. I'm going to slide this in. Now you install this here, you're just going to kind of cup it and push that filter in. You want to make sure that that is fully seated there. And go ahead and lower this down. I'm going to put that into place. I'm going to go ahead and lower this down. Now, I was already using oil gloves covered in oil, so I already have a thin coating on here, still a little residual on the cap. But if this is bone dry, you want to go ahead and put some oil on that. Just use some fresh engine oil. Run a little bit on that O-ring seal. And then just lower that down onto your filter. You can see I got it in line there already. And start to thread that in. Gonna drop this down and on. And all I'm going to do for now is I'm going to bottom this out. And just bottomed out. That's it. Let's torque this down to 19 foot-pounds. Go ahead and put your power steering reservoir back in place. Now at this point here, if you've been handling this with oil and nasty gloves, go ahead and give this a spray down with some solvent. Just kind of give this a quick wipe down. Keep everything as clean as you can while you're working on it. Don't forget to go ahead and grab that dipstick. We're not going to install it yet. We do want to clean it, and then we're just going to set it right here. Let's go ahead and fill the oil now. Now on the top side of the engine here, you want to locate your oil fill cap. Go ahead and spin that off. Go ahead and set that aside. Use a clean funnel. Now we're going to add the appropriate oil recommended by the manufacturer, 7.2 quarts. There's our 7.2. Grab our funnel. Set that aside. Grab the oil fill cap. Lock that in. Now before we install our dipstick, you want to pay attention to the cross hatch section. There's going to be two lines with some X's in between. That is the safe area there. You want to make sure that you're at least up to the top of that or somewhere in the middle. Now we're going to go ahead and insert this here. Now even though we haven't started the engine yet, and let that run through up into the filter, we know that filter area is going to consume a little bit of oil. So we lift this up and out. We are just above that line, which is perfect because once that oil pumps up into that filter or that canister unit, we know that that'll be full. So we can close this here, seat that. You want to go ahead and start up that engine, let it run for about 30 seconds, shut it down, and come on back and check this out. Should be good. Let's go ahead and install our lower splash shield. Go ahead and get that lined up. I'm going to go ahead and install one of the screws in the front here by hand, and then we'll put one in the back that'll hold it in place. These two will hold it up while we install the rest. Now there's going to be a total of 8. Go ahead and install all of them around the perimeter, and then we'll snug them down. All right, now that you have them all in, let's go ahead and snug them down. You just want to go ahead and snug these down gently. And just repeat this all the way around. From inside the vehicle, press the start stop button. We're not going to start the engine, so don't touch the brake. Press it so that the gauges light up. On the left gauge, we have a T1. That's a trip 1. On the lower right, we have a trip 1, trip 2. So if you press it again, it'll go to trip 2. Get it to trip 1. The next part, we're going to press and hold the trip button and the start stop together. And on the bottom here, we should have a info. Once it starts flashing, we're going to go ahead and release the buttons together. There it is. At this point here, we should be able to shut off the dash, apply the brake, and start. At this point here, our engine service light is now off. You've completed the job. You can now go ahead and shut it down.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.